Hey guys, Rumble Rump here. Today we're playing some France at battle rating 8.0. France has a lot of really good tanks at this battle rating. First of which I'm going to cover is the Char 25T. The Char 25T is a beast of a light tank at battle rating 8.0. It has a strong 90mm gun that has no problem dealing with most enemies that you're going to encounter at the same battle rating, and even a little bit above, because you get up tiered all the time. It has an APHE round, which is rare for France, let alone this battle rating, but all throughout the tech tree, France mainly uses solid shot. So it's a very nice change of pace to finally have a round with an HE filler. I mean, the mobility on this thing is great. You can get around the map like nothing else, get into positions that nobody else will expect. Great reverse speed. And it's got scouting. I mean, what more could you want for a tank? It does have rather weak armor. It's not going to eat any shots. But with its low profile, it makes it very hard to hit. As you can see here, it's not even taller than the battlements. It is lacking a stabilizer, which would be nice. But France doesn't have any stabilizers at 8.0 regardless, so just kind of got to get used to it. It is a very fun tank, though. I've had a great time using it. It was one of my go-tos when I was grinding up the tree. I really think that France is one of the strongest nations at this battle rating. It's just unfortunate that you get a lot of up tiers playing at 8.0. So the second tank I'm going to cover is the Lorraine 40T. This tank also has a 4-second autoloader and pretty good mobility. It has pretty good reverse speed and decent armor. The APBC round has surprisingly good post-penetration damage. And recently, having played Britain, rank 4, there's just something different about French solid shot. It just acts like it has an HE filler, even though it doesn't. Somebody commented, imagine bragging about killing a BT5 with a Char 25T. And you know what? Just like that martyr, he was coming at me. I had to put him down. But the Lorraine 40T has pretty good reverse speed, decent armor, a strong APBC round with surprisingly good post-pen damage. It does take a long time to refill the autoloader, and again, the gun is not stabilized. So you got to get used to the wobble. This match actually went kind of weird. We were losing really bad, and my teammate ended up getting a nuke. And I helped him drop it by decapping the B point. So, great game. Great comeback. Next tank I'm covering is the AMX-10M. I thoroughly enjoy this tank. It gets a lot of hate for being an assault gun, but it's definitely a strange assault gun. It has good speed and damage on the missile. The coaxial 20mm gun is great for light vehicles and aircraft. I've gotten quite a few aircraft kills with this thing. It has decent mobility, but again, it's an assault gun that shoots missiles. You have to, turn the entire tank if you want to shoot at an enemy. But like you're seeing here, that 20mm is great for taking out planes and light vehicles and helicopters. The armor is pretty non-existent. I think it literally has a glass windshield in front of it. But, it's a lot of fun to use. It's a different tank. I like different tanks. As you can see here, this helicopter was trying to strafe the team from the side, hit them with rockets. 20mm gun took him right out. I tried to get him with a missile there. Misjudgment on my part. But with this tank in my lineup, I don't even feel the need to bring an SPAA. because it does the same job as the AMX-10P did, but it has a guided missile as well. So you can do both. All right, on to the next tank. The AMX-50 Serbasi. This tank has a great 120 millimeter APBC round with really good post-penetration damage. It has a rangefinder, a 6-second autoloader, so a little bit longer than the others, but not that much longer. The armor's pretty good, but the reverse speed is terrible. I think it only goes 5 kilometers an hour. But, I mean, you're pretty much going to penetrate most anything. I think I only had one incident where I couldn't penetrate an enemy, and that was a T-55 AMD-1, but I think that has the upgraded armor package. It does take a long time to refill the autoloader once you're empty, and again, no stabilizer. So, just gotta get used to that wobble, man. There it is. But it's a lot of fun to use. You know, it's a huge gun with a very fast reload. You can't really ask for much more than that. French tanks all around, like that missile probably would have killed most other things, but like the way that the French tanks are designed, it's just weird. Like they don't seem like they should be able to take the kind of damage that they do. They just do. And it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I hear a lot of people complain about the Samua because it bounces so many different rounds, and I don't personally have the Samua, but I understand. It's very strange only having APBC rounds. I mean, at this battle rating, most other nations are using APDS or heat. It works, though. I mean, I think the Serbasi's round has 301 millimeters of pen. You're not going to have many issues fighting, I'd say 90% of the tanks at this battle rating. So next, we have the AMX-30. So we're starting to get into like the modern-ish age, like 70s era tanks with this 8.0 tank. The heat round is really good, but you only have access to heat. I think you have an HE round, but why would you use HE when you have heat? Pretty much you're going to get the same result. On open top vehicles, that is. It has a great 20 millimeter coaxial gun. I didn't want to take a chance there because he was starting to go behind a rock, but the 20 millimeter coaxial gun, and it's like that on all of the AMX-30 series tanks, the B2, the Brennus, it's and the 40, the 32s. I don't know why they went back to 50 calibers on the Leclercs. They should have definitely stuck with those 20 mils. They're so strong. I wish you had the ability to change the belts on them, but I believe you're just stuck with a default belt. It's a good default belt. Don't get me wrong. It's going to absolutely destroy planes, helicopters, light vehicles. But it sometimes seems like it can be lacking a little bit. The armor is pretty good. It has a rangefinder, but still no stabilizer, which is crazy. So on to the next tank. This one is the AMX-50 TOA 100. Pretty much to me, this just, like, if you were to look at this and look at the Lorraine 40T, you would somewhat think they were the same tank, almost, if not for the slight variation in the frontal armor. The TOA 100 has, I think, double the armor protection on the front than the Lorraine 40T, but everything else is pretty much the same. It has 4-second autoloader, good mobility. The reverse speed is pretty good. The armor is really good. I mean, you saw it stop that M47 without any problem at all. Again, it does take a long time to refill the autoloader if you go through all your rounds. And again, no stabilizer, which is beginning to be a theme here. But overall, very good tank. I really enjoy the TOA 100. I mean, 4-second autoloader at 7.7 is amazing. But again, it is using solid shot. This is a perfect example. It can just be very inconsistent. That being said, though, that doesn't happen very often. Typically, the solid shot works great for me. To backpedal a little bit, using the British solid shot and APDS, it is way more inconsistent than the French round. Like, sometimes it seems like you need to poke a million holes in somebody with the British rounds. Other times, you can just knock them out in a single shot. So, there's no really good science to it. It just works way better. Most of the time. I will say, though, in an up tier, sometimes this lineup can not struggle, but you definitely feel outgunned by a lot of things. A perfect example would be the M60A1 Rise. You know, you're fighting them with solid shot, and they have APFSDS. So next on to the air. I choose to bring the Aragon for close hair support. It is a bit of a mixed bag. It's not OP by any extent. It's not even necessarily all that good. It's just the jet that I have that is 7.7. It's either take this or the F-84, in my opinion. And you already see so many F-84s playing around this battle rating. I kind of just wanted to be a little different. I will say the 20 millimeters, the 4 nose-mounted 20 millimeters are pretty good, but the overall flight performance is not great. You have an okay turn speed, okay roll rate, but you're definitely not the king in the sky. Here I go putting those 20 mils to work, taking out an annoying helicopter. See ya, buddy. And then, finally, for my lineup, I choose to bring the H-34. It is the lowest ranked helicopter. I'm still in the process of grinding all the helicopters for France right now. So, I think I have this one, and then I also have the Alouette 3. But the Alouette 3, I think, is 8.7 or 8.3. So this one is perfect. 7.7 fits right in. It's not very good, which I don't know if that can be said about any low-tier helicopters, that they're very good. The missiles are kind of inconsistent, and I think I have a clip here to kind of show that shortly. It can carry 2 of those missiles, and some of the rockets on the side, but I honestly haven't even tried using the rockets because this thing is so delicate. But anyway, guys, I think that just about wraps it up. Overall, I would say I think 8.0 is some of the most fun you can have with the French in War Thunder. It's a great time, it really is. But anyway, thank you for watching. Drop a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment. And subscribe if you want to see more of me. Thank you. Have a great day.